Hey, Dr. Fred with TMT, Tuesday Morning Transformation. Welcome, Transformers. That's what you're doing, transforming your life. So today is another potentially life-changing experience and lesson as we go through life as a spiritual being in a physical body, and that is, do you love your flesh? Do you love your flesh? Why do I go through this today? Well, this came up as a personal experience. I'll tell you in a minute. But I always found, I was raised Catholic, the challenge with religion, in my opinion, says we must die to our flesh, right? Our flesh must die. Well, that never made sense to me. How do your flesh die? We're a spiritual being in a human body, man. We're on a physical plane. We live through our body. How do you kill your flesh, so to speak? And I know it's a metaphor, but that's the big contradiction, is we're human beings. And the reality is, here's a great question. Does your flesh rule you? Well, here's the thing, our physiology rules. We know how we feel, we believe what we feel, so the real question isn't does our flesh rule our life, but do our emotions rule our life? Because we're emotional beings, right? Human beings, we're emotions. So do your emotions control you, or do you control your emotions? And that's really what it comes down to. So if we're going to, in a sense, manage our human desires, which we're spiritual beings, we have desire. Right? Desire is spirit seeking manifestation. We just have to know the difference between our emotions that are driving our flesh versus what are our thoughts, what's our true being, what's our true nature. Right? So there's some great questions. Now the thing is, here's a mirror. So we are spiritual beings in a physical body. What do you see when you look in the mirror? Right? We see our flesh. But do we see our divinity in our flesh? What do most people do? They're like, shoot, man, I need to lose 10 pounds off my butt, right? I got this. Oh, man, where do these lines come from? All of a sudden we start judging ourselves, and we find things that are wrong. Like, we look in the mirror, and do we really say, you're a child of God, your flesh is perfect the way you are? Hey, you know what? My legs are short. Good thing I got a heel lift in my right shoe here, We say, I got a thick waist, or I have all these things. Well, you came in with that physical structure for a reason. So when we see that we are divinity, then we tend to look at things. What you resist persists. So what are we resisting in our life? You know what? I got to lose 15 pounds. I don't feel good about myself. Well, hey, here's a clue. If what you resist persists, then let's talk about what we really want. How's that? Now everybody knows about this, but hey, if you're married, don't tell your spouse you need to lose 15 pounds. I mean, you can say that, but don't say self-deprecating language, because they're going to see the focus that you give them, right? You know what's really sexy? Is confidence. Confidence is sexy. So it doesn't matter what you look like, because life is a progression. Today is today. It's progress. So what if you want to lose 15 pounds? So what if you want to change something in your life? So if you want to change your body, then we eat a little bit differently. But when we love our flesh, then we do things differently. We learn to love ourselves. So there's 6 human needs. And when you understand these needs, then we understand why we talk about ourselves a certain way. We want certainty. There's things in our life we want safety on, and we want to be secure and confident. There's uncertainty. We want to have spontaneity. There's significance. We want to feel important and acknowledged. There's love and connection. We want relationship. There's growth. We want to grow in spirit. We want to become conscious of ourselves. And then contribution. Your life purpose is in love and connection, soul purpose, love and connection, growth, and contribution. So we get to certainty, uncertainty, significance. Those are lower needs. But sometimes, things happen to us, and we have a story. So I taught a seminar this weekend. Man, I'm up at 5:30. I'm in the seminar room at 7:30. We're out at 8 at night. It's basically 12 hours of teaching. We do that a couple days in a row. So I come home Sunday. Man, I'm tired. You're talking for extended hours at a time. So Monday, I'm emotionally tired. What am I saying on Monday morning? Man, I just want a day off. But I got coaching calls. I got to do this. We got all these projects. This morning I wake up 5 o'clock and I was pissed. Why? Because I want a day off. Why do I have to go to the gym? Well, what if I don't? Then I'm going to feel even worse about myself. So I'm like, go through my morning rituals. What's my tone like? Now I'm at the gym. What's my tone like? So you know what I did? I need significance. So what did I do? I gave myself an award. What's that mean? you know, I give to everybody and blah, blah, blah. What do I give to myself? Feel sorry for yourself. I get the award. Okay, you're a giver. Great. What's the award? This person did this to me. Great. You get the you're the most violated award. How's it feel? I'm the most violated. I give, do people give back? Blah, blah, blah. What's your story, right? So I'm the most violated person. I'm the nicest person and thing. People just do bad things, but I'm really great. There, take your award. How do you feel? Isn't that good? Oh, just warms my little heart. Why? Because it's giving me loving connection. With who? Myself. It's giving significance. With who? Myself. It gives me certainty that, you know, I know who I am. This is my award. And then you look at it and you go, how does that award feel? I'm the most violated person. Kind of sucks. Do you want to keep high the I'm the most violated person award on your shelf above your mantle and your fire? There you go, I'm the most violated. Then all of a sudden it's like, yeah, I think I can let that go. So what I do at the gym this morning, I go, you know what, I can let that go. So I was doing shoulder presses, I put another 10 pounds on. Boom, did a couple of those. I'm like, wow, I feel pretty strong. You know what I'm doing? I'm going to do it again. There, you know what, I'm going to put another 5 pounds. Whoa, I did that. Man, all of a sudden I feel strong. I'm like, my body's strong. I feel good about working out. Because I don't have to worry about tomorrow. God's going to give me courage for tomorrow, but where am I right now? I'm having a good time. So all of a sudden I went through, I'm on the elliptical. Oh, this hurts. God, my legs are sore. Geez, I'm pissed. Until all of a sudden, wow, I actually like this. Right? Why? Because I put down my significance award. So when I look in the mirror, what do I see? I'm a child of God. I love my body. I love my flesh. I'm doing what's good for it. You know, if you want to quit smoking, that gives you connection to yourself. What habits do you have that you want to get rid of? But the reason why you can't get rid of them is because they're satisfying emotional needs. Do they give you certainty on who you are? Do they help you connect with yourself? Do you feel like they give you significance? Right? People that smoke, is that an emotional need? Not that it's good or bad, but everybody knows smoking's bad for them. But sometimes it's just the mechanics are a connection with myself. So when I was in college, when I was 19, I started working in a bar. I was this little shy kid. You know what I mean? I'm like, oh my God, I'm so introverted, I can't even talk to people. You know, that's I was always hiding behind my mom's leg kind of as a little kid, you know, and everybody wants to pinch your cheeks, like, leave me alone. So anyway, I started getting into drugs because this was in the 80s, you know, cocaine's everywhere. I didn't know I was stepping into the drugs world. So I step in there, well, that's fun. I'm an adrenaline junkie. I got shitloads of pain from my childhood. I mean, everybody's got a story, right? So I'm going to do drugs. Well, pretty soon, next thing you know, I'm doing crystal methadone. So I'm going through undergraduate doing crystal meth, okay? Then one day, I decided to be a chiropractor. One day, I'm running around my house closing the drapes. The story's in my book. Why? Because people were out to get me. Oh my God, my house was surrounded. And then I stopped in a second. I realized, you know, chronic methadone use is going to cause paranoid schizophrenic delusions. I stopped in a moment like, holy shit, I'm having paranoid schizophrenic delusions right now. That means my brain chemistry is off. Okay, later I learned that once you have those, you're physiologically addicted and you have brain damage. At that moment, I said, you know what? I'm going to be a chiropractor. This isn't consistent with who I want to be. This is not consistent with my life purpose. I'm stopping right now. Totally physiologically addicted. I'm stopping right now. Never touch it again. Never had one symptom. That's God. Sometimes the dumber you are, the more successful you'll be. All I knew was, this is my life. I'm on a soul purpose. I'm a spiritual being. What I did was I succumbed to my flesh. I succumbed to those needs. I was getting rid of my pain through drugs, and all of a sudden, now, I can have loving connection with myself. I can have significance because I know I'm on my life path. I can contribute to the lives of others, so I can't do this. Boom, I was done in 1 second. How do drug addicts go to rehab over and over and over and over? Because it's meeting needs and nothing happens. And then one day they just decide and they're done. And it's okay, right? We have the power to do anything we want right now, any decision. We just got to find a way that those habits meet our needs in a prosperous way. Now, as it turns out, the wounds that we heal are also the wounds that we heal in other people. So years later, I'm a chiropractor. This guy comes in, he's in his mid-20s, he's got cuts all over his forearm. I knew he was doing drugs. And I go, dude, what happened? He goes, I cut myself with razor blades. And I'm like, why'd you do that? He says, well, it's kind of a dumb question. Why'd you do that? Because I hate myself. And so with all that compassion, I said, you know, it's fascinating. Because I used to do crystal methadone every day. And he goes, no way, Dr. Fred, not you. Why? Because here I represent success, contribution. I represent all these things. He goes, no way. And I went, yeah, man. And I quit because I made a decision in one day. And so he looked at me with amazement and with hope. I saw hope in his eyes. So I ended up moving out of state. Years later, because of Facebook, he found me. Now he's in his 30s, and he thanked me because that one conversation changed his life. Now he's married. Now he's successful. Now he has a whole new life, and he's not a drug addict anymore. So the fact that I did methadone, that test became a testimony. The power of God that said, I'm done right now, made a must decision, not only changed my life, but it changed the lives of other people. So we never know how far reaching something we may think, say, or do today may affect the lives of millions tomorrow. Right? You can change in a moment. Just decide what emotional needs are they meeting, and let's take those needs and let's meet them in a positive way that moves us toward our sole purpose. Behavior changes like that. So I'm coming home from the gym this morning. I'm like, shoot, man, I'm in a hurry. I got to do Tuesday morning transformation. Got the stuff. Got to jump in the shower. Got to do all this. And my phone rings. Oh, I don't recognize that number. But I know it's from New York. Shit, it's probably a market. Okay, fine. Something prompted me. Take that call. One of my clients, it was the wife of one of my clients. And yesterday he said he wanted a divorce. So they've been having problems for years. I've been talking to him for probably 6 years. They've had challenges. He kept saying, call Fred, call Fred. Nope, didn't want to change. Now you're at the point of survival. She calls crying, stressed. Right? So I'm like, shoot, I got to get in the shower. I got to do all this. And God's telling me, take time. Take time right now. This is the difference. And so I just talked to her, and really the story was they had a baby, and they became mom and dad, and they forgot to be husband and wife. And I told her, look, I know your husband. He's not the easiest person to live with. I get it, but you have to take 50% responsibility for everything you've done in a relationship. So I told her what to do, how to create forgiveness to wash away the past, create forgiveness for herself, create forgiveness. I gave her an exercise to do. And she said, I'll do anything. So they're going through that. The bottom line is, the other spouse, he's done, doesn't matter what you do, right? Well, what if I do this and he acts the same? Look, you're not doing it for him. You're doing it because you're a loving being. You're doing it because who you are, not what you do. So how many times do we do things expecting a result? We give love, and when it doesn't come back the way we want it, we get upset because our emotions are controlling us. As opposed, we give love because of who we are. It's not what we do. You do things because of who you are. And you're so full of that it has to radiate regardless of what comes back. So I told her, you're in your 40s. You've been in your head for this part of your life. It's time to take the longest, shortest journey from your head to your heart. So now it's time to have your marriage living from your heart. And by the end of in the beginning of the conversation, he was crying, completely stressed. By the end of the conversation, there were tears of joy, and she felt totally empowered with hope. So Tuesday morning transformation, TMT, is about that 18-inch journey, right? Moving from our head to our heart, from our mind to our spirit, from humanity into divinity. So when we look in the mirror, what do we really see? We see a child of God, that I love my body, I love my flesh, I love who I am, I love my spirit, I love myself in every way. So it can be so full of what the truth is of who we are, that now we can just give it to others freely. All right, you guys, thank you. Please share this, comment. I know, again, there's probably millions of people that need change their reference point, who are seeking this, and you're the vehicle. Not me. This isn't the message. This is your message. So share it, live it, and let's go through this journey together. Love you. See you next week.